It's 2026, crypto is crashing, your bags are bleeding, and you're ready to leave crypto altogether. But hold on, this isn't the first time crypto has felt hopeless, and it probably won't be the last. If you've been around the space long enough, then you know that the biggest opportunities show up when fear is at its highest.
As you can see, Bitcoin is well above $100,000 right now. Crypto is seeing a major boom.
But most of the people, they came in 2017 or 2020, and so they've lived through 1, 2, maybe even 3 drawdowns of more than 50%.
So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 biggest mistakes you need to avoid during a bear market, because if you can avoid these mistakes, you'll put yourself in a position to actually benefit when the market recovers, because it always does. Starting with this first mistake, the biggest lie in crypto is that you should only be fearful when the market is down. If we didn't have ups and downs, we would never have opportunities to actually make money. It's simple. To make money in crypto, you buy low and sell high. So the first mistake is consuming fear for entertainment, because if you consume enough negative content, especially for months or even years, you'll start to believe it. As a crypto YouTuber myself, I understand that the bear market is the most challenging time for creators in this space. That's why you see so many crypto influencers disappear, or they try pivoting topics and they end up just falling off. It happens every bear market. So out of desperation, a lot of crypto influencers will come up with these crazy theories as to why the market is the way it is and where it might be heading, and they're almost always wrong. I don't watch any crypto YouTubers at this point because I pretty quickly realized that nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. But I did notice something interesting when I stopped watching all the crypto YouTubers, especially during my first bear market. And it's that I actually felt better. Like, it was easier to deal with the bear market because if you consume enough negative content, it really affects your mental health. That's one of the main reasons I don't talk about the market or certain coins on this channel, because I don't think there's much value in it and it's not rooted in facts. So if you consume a lot of speculation, crypto is dead content, stop watching it for just a week and let me know how you feel. Okay, I've made this next mistake one too many times in past bear markets. I remember the bull run of 2021, and it was like you could buy anything and the price would go up. But as soon as I saw my investments starting to decline as we entered into the bear market, my instant reaction was I needed to do whatever I could to make my money back. This is called revenge trading, and it's one of the worst things you can do in a bear market. And what usually ends up happening, or what happened to me at least, is I invested more money than I originally invested, and I ended up losing all of it. The problem is when you're down bad, which almost everyone is during a bear market, you start buying random crap that you don't even understand, and your standards actually lower, and you might not even realize it. So instead of making smart decisions, you're buying narratives that you don't even understand, and as a result, you just end up losing more and more money. And then this is an endless cycle that I see people get stuck in all the time. The reality is bear markets are not the time to get reckless. If anything, you should become even more selective with what you're buying. If you're going to gamble away your money in crypto, don't do it during a bear market. At least wait for the bull run. That way your odds are a little bit better. So here's the filter I use when I think I might be revenge trading. I just ask myself this question: if my portfolio was up 50%, would I still be buying this coin or token? If the answer is no, then you're probably making an emotional decision and chasing that dragon of trying to see your crypto portfolio go up, and it might not be the best move. All right, I can't say I made this next mistake myself, but I have seen people in my inner circle make this mistake, and they seem to regret it come the next bull run. I've noticed that it's really easy to be interested and optimistic about crypto when the market is doing well. Your bags are up, you feel euphoric, and your dreams of quitting your 9-to-5 and retiring on the beach seem just a little bit closer. But what I've noticed with a lot of beginners, especially, and by beginner I mean this is their first crypto season, like they've experienced a taste of the bull market and now they're headed into a bear market, they become bitter and uninterested in crypto. As a result of the fear, frustration, and maybe a little bit of embarrassment that comes with that, they leave crypto altogether and make the third mistake, which is they stop paying attention to crypto. So what I've seen and where some of that regret comes from is by time the average person who checked out of crypto notices that the market is performing well, crypto's already going up, and they probably missed a really good opportunity to make a lot of money. The people who tend to do the best in crypto aren't the smartest. They just realized that they needed to stay engaged, watch from the sidelines. That way they could jump in when they notice the market shifting and take advantage of the opportunities that come from a volatile market. And I'm not saying to constantly buy crypto during a bear market, but at least keep an eye on what's going on, and more importantly, arguably, how people are feeling, what they're saying, because market sentiment can be a good indicator of where crypto is at and where it might be heading. Like right now, everyone is saying crypto is dead. I've wasted 5 years of my life. It's all over. That tells me that there's probably not a lot of upside in the market right now. But the moment that sentiment starts to shift from negative to positive, could be your opportunity to jump back in. Okay, this next mistake is massive because it determines if you will ever actually make money in crypto. And unfortunately, this is the most common mistake I see people make, which is assuming crypto is like other investments. It's not even close. The most common question people ask me is, what crypto should I buy? And while that seems like a reasonable question, it tells me that they're thinking about crypto the same way you would think about stocks, ETFs, or a retirement account. The problem is crypto isn't just an investment, it's also a security responsibility. And if you ignore the security side of crypto, you're probably never going to make money on the investment side of it. Because odds are you're eventually going to encounter a scam like a phishing attack, a malicious transaction, or some other threat. And if you don't know how to navigate those situations, one mistake can wipe out years worth of investing. In 2025, a record-breaking $17 billion was stolen in crypto scams and fraud, and that number is only going to continue going up because AI is now making it a lot easier for scammers and hackers to find vulnerabilities and steal crypto from people. I'm also just speaking from experience here. I've worked with hundreds of crypto investors over the last several years to help them secure their crypto, and a lot of them come to me when it's already too late. One person I worked with lost $80,000 in Bitcoin to a crypto scam that they came across on YouTube. I mean, imagine surviving a 2-year bear market just to come out on the other end and then get scammed and lose all of your money right before the bull run. And here's the worst part that a lot of people don't realize. Every dollar you lose in crypto, you have to make that back before you can even make profit. So if you lose $10,000 to a scam, first you have to make $10,000 back, and then everything after that would be considered profit. But because of how crypto is designed and because it's all digital, you are much more likely to lose money investing in crypto versus more traditional investments. Also, crypto is decentralized, meaning no one person controls it. So if you lose money in crypto to a scam or a hack, there's no 1-800 number you can call to get your crypto back. It is a permanent transaction. It is your responsibility to protect it. So how do you actually protect your crypto? Well, you do it through education and using the tools that are designed specifically for securing crypto. Something you can do for starters during a bear market, instead of asking what crypto should I buy, start learning how to properly secure your crypto, because the ones that win aren't the ones that are usually buying the best coins. They're the ones who buy the coins they believe in and hold on to it long enough to see them appreciate. Now, when it comes to crypto education and more specifically security, I made a complete guide that will fast track you to securing your crypto better than 90% of investors that I'm going to share with you in a second. As for the best tools for securing your crypto, we should just use the same tools that these multi-billion-dollar crypto companies use to secure their crypto. One of the most important tools in a crypto exchange's security infrastructure is called a hardware wallet. A hardware wallet simply stores the keys that are used to access and manage your crypto offline in a secure, essentially hack-proof environment. So all you need to do is transfer your crypto to a hardware wallet and then just leave it there and it'll be secure. That's what I've been doing for the past 6 years. Now, you might be thinking, because these are multi-billion-dollar crypto companies, the tools or the hardware wallets they're using must be really difficult. But fortunately for us, hardware wallets have come a long ways over the last 10 to 13 years, and there are a lot of beginner-friendly options. And these beginner-friendly options, some of the exchanges even use them, and we have access to those exact same tools. Now, the one that I use isn't used by a crypto exchange to my knowledge, but it is extremely beginner friendly, and that is Tangem. I own more than 35 different hardware wallets. Some of them the exchanges use, some of them they don't, but I still find myself using Tangem more than any of the wallets that I own, mainly because of how easy it is to use and I actually enjoy using it. And this has secured my crypto for the past 3 years, and Tangem has been around for 9 years, and in that 9 years, there has never been any hack, and they've been securing crypto for almost a decade. I'll drop a discounted link to Tangem along with my full step-by-step user guide down in the description if you want to check that out. That said, there is no better time than during a bear market to sharpen your skills and learn the fundamentals of crypto so that you can secure it and hold it long enough to hopefully one day reap the benefits from being extremely early to this revolutionary technology. So here's some bear market homework for you. If you don't know what custodial wallet, self-custodial wallet, hot wallet, cold wallet, or malicious transaction means, you have a lot of work to do before you start asking, well, what crypto should I buy? Knowing these terms and what the difference is between the different wallet types will empower you to secure your crypto long-term, hopefully when we see the next bull market. And if you're serious about protecting your crypto long-term, this next video will show you exactly how to do it. It's the same approach that I've used for the past 6 years, and it's these same principles that I've taught to over 17 million crypto investors here on the channel that have helped a lot of people keep their crypto safe. I'll meet you over there. God bless and peace out.